Hello, my dear students! Welcome to our arts lesson of Quarter 1, Week 1. Arts and Crafts of Ilocos Region and Cordillera Administrative Region, or CAR. Our competency for this lesson are: analyzes elements and principles of arts in the production of one's arts and crafts inspired by the arts of Luzon, Highlands, and lowlands. Number 2 identifies characteristics of arts and crafts in specific areas in Luzon. For example, the paper mache taka from Paite, Ifuga wood sculpture, the bulul, Cordillera jewelry and pottery, tattoo, and Ilocos weaving and pottery. But before we proceed to our lesson of the arts and crafts of Ilocos and CAR, we will review first the basic elements and principles of arts. So let's start learning on the elements of arts. What do you think is the common thing that you can notice? Yes, it's line. And artwork are made up of different lines. Each of these pictures shows similar thing, but one main idea that differentiates them is how the artist used lines in that artwork. Line is one of the 7 elements of arts. Among them are the shape, color, texture, form, value, and space. These 7 elements are the building blocks of all art and are a great way to start in analyzing or interpreting a work of art. Line is a point created when one object moves from one point to another. In the visual art, line can be horizontal, vertical, diagonal, straight, curve, or freeform. They can be thick or thin, light or dark. Sometimes, when line can be all of these things, it will create an art. What quality do you see in this line? How would you describe them? Every artist has its unique way of applying these lines. It's one way of expressing our individual style. The next element of the art is the shape. When the beginning of a line connects with its own ends or intersect along with another, it creates shape. Shapes are enclosed in 2-dimensional space. That means depth, length, and width. They are always flat. There are countless shapes that we can divide into 2 main categories: geometric shapes and organic shapes. Geometric shapes can be determined mathematically. They are known as regular shapes. They always have a specific name, such as circle, square, or rectangle, and they can be often seen in nature. The second category of shape is the organic shape. It can be found in the nature like leaves or water. They are irregular, really curvy. We have names for specific organic shapes such as stars, moon, or heart, but most of them doesn't have a name. The third element of art is the color. Color is created when light strikes an object and reflects back into your eyes. All colors comes from the three primary colors, and it can also be seen in black and white. The primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. You can now make a primary color. Primary colors are mixed together to create another colors, like the secondary colors. The secondary colors are combinations of two of the primary colors in equal amounts. Red plus yellow equals orange. Yellow plus blue equals green. And blue plus red equals purple. Tertiary colors are combination of primary color and secondary color. When you are making a tertiary color, the primary color is always named first, such as red-orange and yellow-orange. Altogether, they form a color wheel. The color wheel organized a color. The circle shows the relationship between the colors. The next element is the texture. Texture is something that feels or looks like, or as if you might feel, as if it was touched. The feelings of textures are hard or soft, rough or smooth, matte or glossy. Texture can be actual or implied. You can create a texture for a person to actually feel on the artwork surface. Or you can use drawing technique to make a flat artwork appear to be textured. Another element of art is the form. Form must have a height, width, and depth. It's three-dimensional. There are two types of form: the geometric form and the organic form. The geometric form has a specific name such as cone, cubes, or pyramid. They are typically man-made, while the organic form don't have a specific names. Forms can be created in actual or implied way. In actual way, some freestanding sculpture taking three-dimensional space so they can be viewed from any angle. And for the implied way, some other sculpture consists of sculptural three-dimensional elements attached to a solid background. Another element of art is the value. Value is how light or dark a color looks like. It is used to break an object like a three-dimensional. The value scale shows you the value of white to black. Tint is a color mixed of white. So we can see red becomes pink and blue becomes light blue. In value, there is also shade. Shade is a color mixed with black. Tone is also present in value because tone produced by mixing a color with gray. See, you can change the value of the color through tinting, shading, and toning. And the last element of art is space. Space is the area where artwork is placed. It can be within an artwork like a drawing or a painting, and also contains surrounding area of artwork. There are three types of space. We have the positive, negative, and white. Positive space is created in the areas that are occupied by an object, and the negative space can be seen around the object. And the white space are created space between the objects. Using the space of the object is what we call composition. Depending on how you use the space, we can fill it. It's either a crowded, open, orderly, chaotic, or playful. Artist uses several techniques to create the illusions of space within the two-dimensional artwork. Relative size, varying use and values, contrast of focus and blur, overlapping, different placement, and the use of one or two perspective gives the three-dimensional of space. Perspective is a volume of space or three-dimensional object on a flat surface. On a parallel line, extend from an object and meet together on a horizontal line, that is a vanishing point. A drawing has a one-point perspective when it contains only one vanishing point on a horizontal line. A two-point perspective uses two vanishing points on a horizontal line. The principles of arts and designs. Number 1 is the rhythm. Rhythm is the repetition of the elements of art and pattern. Rhythm is made when something in the artwork repeats itself to create a pattern. Notice how the artist uses a series of black and white shapes to create a spiral pattern in this artwork. Number 2 is the emphasis. Emphasis is one part of an artwork is dominant over other parts. To use emphasis is to create a strong difference in one part of the artwork compared to the other parts. This artist used a different color to set one object apart from the others. The third one is the balance. Balance equalizing visual forces or elements in an artwork. We have three different types of balance. Number one is the symmetrical balance. Number two, the asymmetrical balance. And number three is the radial balance. Symmetrical balance is when objects in the artwork are balanced evenly. The second balance is the asymmetrical balance. It is when objects are balanced unevenly. And the last one is the radial balance. It is when objects are balanced in a circular or radial manner. In this artwork, the artist creates an artwork that is both symmetrical and radial. The objects are evenly positioned side to side, and they even to be creating a circular movement. Proportion and unity in art is how the element of pieces is combined to create balance and harmony. In order to achieve this unity of art, there must be the balance and harmony with the 7 elements of arts. Unity can be achieved through repetitive and simplicity. Unity is like a visible clue. It would tell the pieces that they belong together. Example of unity includes shape, pattern, and contrast. Pattern is the consistent repetition of the elements with a composition of art. It must be consistent, exact repetition in order for it to be pattern. The next principle of art is contrast. Contrast is extreme. It's an opposite. The bigger the difference between the two things, the higher the contrast. It's just like there's an up and down, far or near, loud or soft. The last principle is the movement. In visual, movement is used by the artist to direct the viewer through the artwork. It can be directed along lines, edges, shapes, and color. Movement is the design principles that uses some of the elements of art to produce the look of action or to convey the viewer's eye to sweep over the work of a certain manner. And we can create now something interesting artwork through various activities. Since we are done reviewing the elements of arts and the principles of arts design, I will bring you now to Ilocos Region. Ilocos Region, it is an administrative region of the Philippines designated as Region 1, occupying the northwestern section of Luzon. The region comprises 4 provinces. Number 1 is the Ilocos Norte, number 2 is the Ilocos Sur, number 3 is the La Union, and number 4 is the Pangasinan. Now let's see the beautiful sceneries of the Ilocos region. Ilocos Norte. Ilocos Sur, La Union, and Pangasinan. Now, after seeing some of the most beautiful sceneries of the Ilocos region, we will now proceed to the arts and crafts of the Ilocos region. And now, we will see some of the architectural designs from the Ilocos region, their textile, pottery, weaving, foods and delicacies. Vegan, considered as the Intramuros of the North, retains the Spanish colonial architecture along its narrow and cobblestone streets known as Calle Crisologo. You can see these old Spanish-type houses have huge, high-pitched roofs, large and rectangular living rooms that are made of adobe, bricks, lime, terracotta, hardwood floors, and windows of copy shells framed in wooden window panels. Luna, bahay na bato, pebbles, and stone art, is now one of the most visited tourist destinations by both local and foreign tourists in the region. It was opened for public only last 2015. The uniqueness of this stone house soon attracted tourists and travelers alike, and the owner of the house, the nobles, allowed visitations after the structure was declared a tourist site by the municipal government under Mayor Victor Marvin Maroon. Let's proceed to the textile of Ilocos. Inabel is a hand-weaving technique of the Ilocanos that is produced using traditional wooden looms. The designs represent different meanings. The dizzying binakol weave represents the wave of the sea. They believe that this design protects them from bad spirits. The Inabel designs are inspired by the natural elements patterns that depict different landforms and colors of flowers and vegetations, played zigzags, animal patterns, the ocean waves, or the glittering night sky. And now we have the pottery for the Ilocos. The Bornay is an glazed earthen jar with a small opening. It is used for storage of water and rice grains and as a container for salt, brown sugar, basi or local wine, and the bagoong or the fermented fish. The designs are simple. Sometimes curved patterns can be found around the shoulders of the jar. They also prick the jar with a stick while it is still soft to make the surface more interesting. Now let's proceed to the weaving of Pangasinan. The arts and crafts of Pangasinan include the smoothly woven bulinaw mats made from the buri or raffle leaves and the bamboo crafts like baskets furniture of San Carlos. Go, go, go now! And let's taste the foods and delicacies from the Ilocos region. After traveling and studying the arts and crafts of Ilocos region, we will now proceed to Cordillera Administrative Region. The following are the Highlands of Luzon under the Cordillera Administrative Region or CAR. Kalinga. The southern Kalinga women wear the wrap-around skirt or tapis called kain, which reaches below the knee. It is characterized by a red stripe, white and yellow, and black geometrical patterns. The northern Kalinga women wear saya, an ordinary women's skirt, covering the knees to feet. The colors used in their textile have cultural meanings. Red signifies bravery, black is for the soul or land, white is for the flowers of the coffee trees, yellow is for the sand, and green is for the mountains. The basketry of Kalinga shows their craftsmanship. The lava is a bowl-shaped basket made from rattan with sizes that varies. Tattooism is another form of art in Kalinga. It may serve as part of clothing, decorations, signifies and rite of passage from youth to adulthood, mark heroism, bravery, and status in the community. Apo Wangod, born on February 17, 1917, also known as Maria Ugay, is a Filipino artist from Buscalante, Tinglayan, Kalinga, Philippines. She is often described as the last and the oldest mambabatok or the traditional Kalinga tattooist and is part of the Butbut people of the largest Kalinga ethnic group. Ulul is a wooden sculpture that represents the rice granary spirits. It is used as rituals and performed to call the ancestors to protect the rice field from pestilence and to ask for abundance of harvest. The amulets of the Ifugao is called Lingling'o or Dinumog. These are made from jade, gold, copper, bronze, stone, and other materials. The people of Buntuk are also skilled weavers. They weave different textiles from blankets to clothing. Wanis, it is a man's traditional attire. Lufid, a short and narrow wrap-around skirt used by a woman. The nature of buntoks creates their textile patterns through the ikat, a weaving method. It is the process of tying and dyeing the thread to prepare the patterns before they are woven into a textile. The province is also known for their burial clothes, kadangyan, woven by female elders. Abra, the Tinggians weave textiles for clothes and blankets. They are noted for their white textiles with horizontal stripes found in the edges, like this in the bangkudo or wrap-around skirt, or vertical stripes in the center like those found in the balwase or female blouse. And now, we are through exploring the arts and crafts of Ilocos Region and the Cordillera Administrative Region. Before we proceed to our evaluation, I want you to remember this line: a man paints with his brain and not with his hands. This is an important statement that mirrors the fact of art making. That art is not merely just a product of a skillful hand, but if once a creative mind expresses his experiences, visions, and adventures, that inspires him to express his feelings. This activity will test your artistry. For those who have modules right now, you may answer this in your modules. And for those who don't have a module, you may use this template and answer this on a long carbon band and compile for submission. Activity 1. Identifying. Identify the elements and principles of arts found from the textile of Ilocos Region and Car Region. Activity 2. I am an artist. You may show your own artistry in the following: drawing, painting, sculpture, sketching, map making, pot holder making, or any of which you think you can do it. Take a picture of your artwork and send it to via Messenger or in any form of digital access. And I'll show you the example of my simple artwork. Use this rubric as your guide in making your own artistry. On the comment side of this rubric, you may explain how you apply the elements and principles of art and design in your own artwork. Activity 3. Picture identification. Just answer what is being asked about the picture. Yes, we are now done with our arts lesson in the Arts and Crafts of Ilocos Region and Cordillera Administrative Region, or CAR. Always remember that art encourages us to think, develop our skills, and boost our confidence. Thank you, class, and bye-bye. You may do some of the activities any time of the week for as long as you can submit it on the deadline. Bye-bye!